Hey guys, welcome to Little Big Podcast. This is the 3-year birthday special.
Thanks for joining us this week, guys. It is our 3rd year of doing Little Big Podcast. Today marks the day that we started Little Big Podcast in 2008, and it's hard to believe that we've come this far off of just steam from one game. And it's been a crazy ride, and I'm finally back for our 3rd year birthday. We've had so much bandwidth problems out here at my college that I haven't been able to get on every single week. But the 3rd year birthday is something that I treat as, well, pretty significant. So I figured I'd hop on and co-host with Daniel once again, and then I'll be back during Christmas break for about 5 episodes. So that'll be pretty sweet. And I've missed doing this a lot, and we're going to give you more updates about what I've been up to. But we have some special surprises for you guys just for our 3rd year birthday, and we're going to let Daniel kick a few of those off, and then I'll pick up. So what's up?
All right, so we have 3 major events going on this week. We have Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, big events. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what's going on tomorrow, Tuesday. We are going to be taking over the PlayStation blog post, and that is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yes.
So we'll be doing all the regular stuff that's on the PlayStation blog, only in video form. So that's going to be a little bit different, and thank you so much to Mark Valador for making that possible. That's going to be really,
Big
really
time,
good.
big time. That was a huge honor, and I just have to say with Mark Valador, I mean, he's been a longtime friend, probably for I guess 2.5 years nearly for the show, and it's been a great, awesome time knowing him and getting involved with the PlayStation blog, and it's a huge opportunity and a huge liability to let 2 kids take over the PlayStation blog, but thanks for letting us do that. It's a great chance, and we love Little Big Planet. We love what you've done for us, and it's been great, so thanks again.
Yeah. So, Austin, what are we doing next on Thursday?
On Thursday, we're going to be releasing a PlayStation Home video, and we technically stopped putting PlayStation Home videos into the theater once I left because it's been insanely hard to get these weekly episodes out, let alone PlayStation Home videos, but we actually have a surprise. We have Little Big Podcast exclusive DLC for PlayStation Home. That's right. By going into the PlayStation Home Community Theater and watching this video, you'll automatically download our exclusive avatar item. Now, this is a really cool antenna.
Which is absolutely
this is a really cool antenna that you can throw up on your character, and it looks sick, and it's designed right from our logo, and it's pretty awesome, and I think it pulsates. So
yeah, I love how you said you can throw it up on your character and it looks sick.
Yeah, that was some subtle humor
funny.
for you guys. Okay, no, seriously though, it's a great opportunity for us to be in the PlayStation Home Community Theater again. Great time, and then to be able to have this exclusive DLC is just crazy. So definitely go pick that up if you're in PlayStation Home. Even if you're not, swing by. That's only in North America though, because our show only plays in North America there. But definitely swing by and pick up our DLC because it's pretty sweet.
Yep, and thank you so much to Cade Peterson for making that possible. You rock, and we really appreciate you making that happen.
For sure.
And all you have to do is go into the theater and watch our video, and you get the item
Very cool.
automatically. So
Now, if you're wondering where our
then
episode actually is going to play, follow the posters. We're going to have a marquee above the theater door where our show's playing. So check that out.
Right. And then on Saturday, we have another big surprise for you guys. On our YouTube channel.
I said no way.
Yeah. On our YouTube channel, we are going to be having a scavenger hunt. Now, it's not just any scavenger hunt. What are we looking for exactly?
Well, because it's our 3rd year birthday, we thought it would be very acceptable to have 3 crowns to give away. Now, I think some of you will remember our crazy contest last Christmas where we caught some flack for completely botching that contest and letting a lot of you guys, guess at the codes and get them right because we only left 1 letter off the end of it and crazy stuff like that. So we completely rethought how to do this crazy scavenger hunt. So we're going to make it a lot harder. Now, I think by the time we release this video to announce our scavenger hunt, what time it's going to be and all, I think we're going to have 191 videos, right? Okay, so we're going to hide 3 crown codes somewhere at some point in time in our 191 videos. Now, it's going to be up to you guys to find where this actually is hidden. Now, the cool thing about this is instead of actually putting text in the physical video, we're going to add it with an annotation. So as soon as the first person finds it, we can take that annotation away. And that's going to be really helpful in not getting a flood of emails, and should be a great contest. Is there anything else I missed, Daniel?
Yeah, make sure you're on a desktop computer or a laptop or something like that, or else you won't see the annotations. So make sure you're trying to be on a full browser and you will be able to see.
Okay, very cool. Now we're gonna have a video coming out on Saturday announcing the exact start time of the contest, and it's gonna be a very nice global time. So not all of you are gonna be like, "Oh, I was asleep when it happened" and stuff like that. And your chances are pretty high. They're gonna be hidden pretty well and in a huge field of videos. So don't worry about not being able to track them down, because it'll be pretty hard.
Yep, they'll be there.
All right, well, those are our big 3 things for our 3rd-year birthday. I guess we can go ahead and cover some news. Obviously, I think a Move bundle is going to be released tomorrow, along with some Assassin's Creed DLC, and you can pick more stuff about that in the blog post coming tomorrow as well.
Yeah, that's really the only major news for this week. So now that we've covered basically everything we need to, I think we're just going to chat a bit about what the 3rd year has been like, because it's been pretty insane, and if you haven't been with us the entire time, then you missed quite a bit of good stuff. But we're going to talk it over a bit and just highlight some of our favorite moments.
Good stuff is something to be used lightly, especially since we've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah.
So let's see.
You missed some.
Let's do some show history. We started in November of November of 2008, and we actually started the day the game came out, if I'm not mistaken, and it's been an insane journey. We started out 2 kids with a digital picture camera and a lamp as a light, and now we've worked our way up to cross-country podcasting, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And honestly, those were, when people say humble beginnings, well, those were definitely
for sure
our humble beginnings. We had no idea what we were doing. I'm pretty sure, we didn't even know what YouTube was.
No, and that's actually kind of weird, honestly, but, that was us back then. So we did a very bad job of starting out, and we worked our way eventually to the point where someone at Media Molecule found us. And they were like, "Hey guys, keep doing the great work. The show's looking pretty awesome." And we were like, we were psyched out. We were like, "Whoa, Media Molecule's in contact with us," and we thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that just shocked us. We were like, "Whoa, wait a second! People actually watch this?" And that was kind of the point where we started building a relationship with Media Molecule, and soon thereafter we kind of got in touch with the Sony guys, and it's just been insane ever since then. I personally never thought we'd get over a couple hundred views a week. In fact, a couple hundred views a week would have been a landmark even 2 years ago.
And the show really honestly had its major takeoff point as soon as we went to YouTube, which was back in March of YouTube. 2009, I think. Might have even been 2000. No, it was 2010. March 2010.
Yeah, March of 2010.
We've skyrocketed.
Since that point, it just if you look at our view charts, it went from 90% of our views coming in from Flip.tv to almost 100% of our views coming in from YouTube. It was amazing the amount of support you guys showed.
And I believe at last check for me, I think we're up to 900,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, just about 900,000 views. And when you put that in perspective, we were 2 kids with a digital picture camera, and we've just kept building our way up with video and everything about that. And now we're 900,000 views later. We're here at our 3-year mark, and it's just incredible.
It's been great. So Little Big Planet honestly has evolved so much over the time that we first started. I mean, when we first started, the biggest level was ramp, and obviously things have changed quite a bit since then. But now we've worked our way up to Move and Move Integrate. We didn't even know what Move was back then, or even saw it coming. So it's just been a crazy journey of games, and to be able to take a Little Big Planet, which is an amazingly innovative game, and then to be able to podcast off of it for 3 years was just awesome. It was a perfect game to podcast on. Just the whole community aspect of it really lent itself to being able to update every week what was going on in the game, not only in DLC, but also in cool community creations, all sorts of stuff. So it's been an incredible game. I want to say thanks. I know we'll probably say this again, but thanks to the guys at Media Molecule, because you guys have been huge, and obviously we've looked up to you for a long time, not only in the games, but also in just creativity. And it's really helped us, I guess, advance where we are in Little Big Podcast. and then advance like where we've gotten in other fields as well. So it's been a
Yeah.
totally great experience, and it's just been amazing.
Yeah, I was just like, once we started building our relationship with Media Molecule, you will never meet a more talented, creative, and even humble group of people than them.
For sure.
And those
Yeah,
things
for sure.
usually, they don't usually go together, but those guys, they're just so humble, but they love what they do. Like, you'll be, oh man, I love that level. And every single one of them will be like, oh, I was just a minor part of that, whoever else did it. So then you'd go up to them and say, dude, you totally killed whatever level that was. And they're like, oh, well, the whole thing, it's just a team effort.
Yeah.
And they always try to pass off the, the compliments to the rest of the team. It's just amazing. You guys are just probably the coolest game developers of all time. I don't know. You guys are just like...
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I can't really put it into words, but you guys are the best developers ever. I mean, I don't know.
Easily.
Like, your team, it's got that special bind, and you guys all know what you're doing. It's just cool. So,
for sure.
Thanks again
And
to Media Molecule.
Probably. So when we finally met them in person, it was really weird because we were all like taken back, and we were like, okay, we are real. We were trying to take that in. So it was pretty funny, and they're great to know in person. It was really great to just hang out with them and really be like friends more than just a game relationship, I guess. So it was really cool to just hang out and have a good time playing LBP2, which was awesome.
Yeah, and the funny other thing about that meeting, or the other funny thing about that meeting, was assigning PSNs to faces. Like, we were meeting all these people, and it's like, oh, I'm whoever, and I'm like, you are?
Yeah.
Like, okay, nice to meet you. And then you had to remember when you walked up to the person, and like everybody was calling everybody else by their PSN names.
Exactly.
And it was just kind of funny. So
yeah, that was one of the coolest.
One of the best.
Yeah, that was probably the coolest moment for us, I think, in show history. And the more I watch stuff from it, and the more I look back on it, the more I think, man, that was like, I wish we could do it over again because we were so awful back then.
We did such a bad job, and like if we did it now today, we'd still look back on it in like next year, and we'd be like, oh, I wish we would have done this and this. But I honestly do think we could do a better job. It was just like, the pressure of being live. That was one thing that we weren't used to that, and we kind of got thrown into it on a big scale, and it was a blast. But we were so unprepared for it.
Yeah,
it was funny. But
that's what I think was probably the coolest thing, though, is being able to look back and go, okay, yes, we have improved since then. So at least we're not stagnant.
Yeah, and that's like one thing that kind of defines Little Big Podcast. We are constantly doing things to be a better show. Like, we're always coming up with new graphics, new ideas. It's just like an ever-evolving podcast idea. It's a lot of fun to work with, but it can be challenging sometimes because after a while, you'll look back at like a couple weeks ago and you'll be like, was I really that bad just last month? And it's it's a challenge to keep getting better, and it's probably one of the most rewarding challenges ever, though. So it's a lot of fun.
For sure. And I guess like one thing that we've recently been doing, and some of you who may be kind of keeping up with us, I've noticed that we started to branch out more to like cinematography. And that's a personal area that I'm definitely very interested in. I'm actually doing a lot of it here at college. And honestly, that's taken up a lot of my time. So that's kind of part of the reason why I haven't been on. Part of the other reason is stinking internet here. I hardly ever can get it to work. So right now I'm actually on the phone with Daniel. And my laptop is my preview screen for my cat. It's a really ghetto setup, but it's working. So
yeah, it's working. And my preview screen right now is the camera screen. So I'm like looking at it with a pair of binoculars, and I'm like, am I still in focus? Am I still recording? But everything's working right now, so I think.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing too.
Yeah.
So Little Big Podcast has just been like one of the coolest things, and honestly, looking back, like I can't imagine very much that would have changed, in the past since then. So a lot of cool things have gone on that have kind of helped this, I guess, be like a real defining moment in. And I guess the past 3 years of my life, really, this has been one of the biggest areas of focus, I guess. Like, some people are like sports guys, some people are other things, but this has all been like video stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, some people are like basketball, football, whatever else people play nowadays, and
Right.
and we're like video podcasting, and they'll be like, "Did you seriously just spend your entire night doing that?" And we'll be like, "Yeah, it was awesome, and
Yeah.
I learned how to rotoscope something while it's moving." And they're like, "Oh, what? What does that mean?"
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I think
Like,
that's
we have these moments, yeah.
I honestly think that video, at least for me and for you, has been a God-given passion. And honestly, it's just like no one understands, or hardly anyone understands it. We'll sit there and be like, yes, this looks awesome. And the one thing I hate is just, working on something for hours and hours and hours, and then finally getting it done. And people are like, oh, that's cool, or, that was cool. And you're like, I took like 18 hours to work on that, and people just don't appreciate stuff like that, which is understandable, but at the same time it's just like the passion and the drive that really wants to do this will it'll weed out all the people who really are just in it for just the video part of it, I guess. But it's been awesome.
And the funny thing about that is, especially when you make a video, you spend like 18 hours on it, and they're like, oh, I could have done that in Windows Movie Maker, and you're like, no, you couldn't have. You don't understand.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so frustrating sometimes, but that I guess that's just how it goes. And honestly, it's just it's so much fun. I couldn't picture myself doing anything else. Like the other day, I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh, this is taking me 8 hours today to make the show. And then I was like, what would I be doing with those 8 hours
otherwise
if I wasn't making the show? And then I'm like, man, I have no life. It just kind of hit me right then, and I'm like, oh well.
One thing that I have to, I guess, recommend while my mind was just on it, one of our most common questions is, how can I start a podcast? What do I need to start a podcast? I know a lot of you guys ask that, so we can answer it. And I guess one of the things that I just have to recommend is be yourself, have a personality. Because you're not going to get anywhere imitating someone or something that already exists, because then why would they watch you if something else is already in place like that? And secondly, start with what you have. You don't need Premiere Pro, you don't need After Effects, you don't need a T2i. I mean, you can get started with really, really, really cheap setup, and that's pretty much what we did. I mean, I think we said it earlier, we were using a lamp as a light. We just took the shade off and pointed it at us. So, I mean, you can get started with what you have and work your way up eventually, so.
That just reminded me of something with the lampshade thing. I'm pretty sure that we used to sit there and flip the lampshade backwards, and we thought it looked so cool. We're like, oh man, this looks like a studio light now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That just cracks me up every time I think about I mean, it doesn't have to look studio. Honestly, the best things about your video will be how it turns out, and even if it turns out horrible, as long as your content is good, people don't care. I mean, quality versus content. People want content, and I mean, that's just how it works. So get out there and start doing something. And honestly, that's the reason Little Big Podcast is where it is today. We did something that nobody else was doing. We podcasted on a game that nobody else had podcasted on, and it just kind of took off from there. So.
Oh yeah, and another point is don't give up, because we caught a lot of haters, we caught a lot of flack for what we were doing. So that's honestly just how we got to where we are, and it's been a great ride. Remember, just don't give up, don't listen to those haters, and you'll make it through.
Yeah, and I guess one other big point to highlight before we move off of the history of the podcast would be the PlayStation Home thing that we got into just this past year. And that was probably one of the most honoring moments in the history of our show. I can't think of a time that I felt more proud to be a Little Big Podcaster than then. It was like, wait a second, Sony wants us to make videos.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Home, and oh man, it's just
I guess just
adrenaline rush.
The feeling of going into a video game and seeing yourself in a video game is just whoa, this is weird. So, going into the theater for the first time, watching our first episode play in there was just man, this is cool. And then, after that, the virtual item that's actually coming out Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can go pick that up. I mean, just having something that forever embodies Little Big Podcast in a video game is, completely legit. It's, amazing.
Insane.
Yeah.
So our 4-year project, our 4th-year birthday, our project is gonna get a DLC kit. So
yeah.
for Little Big Planet 2, that's our big project this year. And
All right, we'll start working on
Austin
that.
and Daniel costumes. That would
We
be
can
funny.
we can do it real simple now. Just PSI our faces onto those boxes,
Yeah, that
and
works.
there's your costume.
You know, that really would be funny to make like a radio tower Sackboy. Like his head could be the circle part, and then the radius is. Somebody make concept art of that. That would be funny. But
You know, people are gonna be all over that now that you said it.
yeah, please do it. It'd be funny as a mess. I would love it.
Yeah. So the show's been awesome. If this is like your first time ever coming across the show, welcome. And this is Little Big Podcast, and it's a little bit different than what we usually do. For what we usually do, we actually go and, we review 3 levels a week. We cover some art that you guys send in. We cover the news for the week, and then we'll throw in a few cool tidbits and stuff like that. And then we'll wrap it up for the week. And it usually runs about 10, 15 minutes. And they're really quick Friday, Saturday updates for you guys to find out what's going on in the world of Little Big Planet. So if this is your first time watching, definitely check it out. And it's been awesome just hosting you guys this time, and it's been cool to be back on personally.
Yep. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and subscribe on YouTube. Our Twitter is @LBPodcast, and to subscribe, you can click the annotation that will be on screen right now, or click the little subscribe button right above the video screen.
Cool deal. And I guess one more thing to cover now that we kind of move off show history is a lot of you guys have been asking, okay, why haven't why haven't I been on the show? And part of it is because I've been insanely busy. Part of it is just all sorts of stuff. Being across country and like having to coordinate schedules, like I had to run here right from dinner, and then Daniel's been done with dinner for 3 hours since I'm in California. So it's been a little crazy, like trying to sync up time. It's been crazy to sync up not having projects working on and stuff like this. Like as soon as I wrap up here, I got to go shoot a basketball game. So it's been a lot of crazy stuff.
Film a basketball game.
I got to go film a basketball game. So definitely. So I'm definitely going into video production and filmmaking kind of as my, I guess you could say, career. I feel like that's what I've been called to do. And it's an incredible college where I'm going, and it's great. And it's just been a totally awesome experience. Met a lot of cool people. Gotten to geek out with some more video people who are here. And I know Daniel's excited to get out here. Once we get out here, we're going to be a killer video team together, right?
Definitely. Hey, fist bump across country.
Wait, which side of the screen are you going to be on?
I'm going to be on the right.
On my right?
On your left.
My left.
I'm waiting. Did you
Oh
fist
yeah,
bump yet?
we're doing it. Yeah, I'm just going all up and down the screen because I have no idea where you're going to be at.
Alright, well, now that we've
Cool
done
deal.
a cross-country fist bump, I think we're just about done.
All right. Well, thanks for
I
joining
can't
us
think of
this
anything
week.
else.
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, we're going to be back. Hopefully, I'm flying to go meet them for Thanksgiving, so I might actually be on an actual episode again in person with Daniel. And then during Christmas break, I think I already said this too, but during Christmas break, I'm going to be on for about 5 weeks, and it'll be a really awesome time. So I can't wait to be back on the show regularly again. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being awesome supporters these past 3 years. And don't forget, we have some awesome stuff coming up. We're taking over the PlayStation blog tomorrow, so don't miss that. We're also going to be in the PlayStation Home Community Theater on Thursday with their brand new virtual item, so make sure you go download that. And then on Saturday, we're going to be launching a video all about our new scavenger hunt for our crowns. And I think we might actually throw a few cool things in there. Isn't that right, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm thinking you might have some other prizes somewhere thrown in there.
For sure.
If you don't win a crown, you'll win something else that's yet to be determined. But
Indeed.
there will be more prizes than just crowns, and it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you come on Saturday, and make sure you watch next week because it will be normal programming, and you guys can see what Little Big Podcast is really all about.
All right. Very cool. Well, once again, thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Austin.
I'm Daniel.
And from California, goodbye.
North Carolina, goodbye.
See you later, guys.